All right, welcome back to the My Pro Golfer channel, and I wanted again to apologize for being 1 week late on this, but medically we had an emergency in my family, and so I'm sorry that we're delayed, but we wanted to make sure that you guys get all the information that we've been promising you coming up on this channel. So today we're hitting the much anticipated 60 to 70 yard shot for you high handicappers and for you scratch players. All right, so let's start for you high handicap players. We've got the sand dune out there that is exactly at 70 yards. And so we're gonna talk a little bit about the 60 to 70 yard shot. And a lot of it depends on how far that green is and what's in front of us. So today we've got just rough up in front of us to that imaginary green and that sandy spot over there. And so what I want you to think about from a high handicap level is, remember, loft is our friend if we're on the ground, but it's not our friend if we're a high handicapper, because something in our golf swing has created that high handicap look and feel. So I've selected an 8-iron for you high handicappers, and our goal is just to take the club back far enough so that we can elevate the ball enough so that it can bounce up onto the greens, because we don't have to go high, we don't have to hit that scratch shot. We got an opportunity to roll something up. So let's take a look at that. We just got to make sure that the lie is pretty decent, and we're kind of in that like light rough first cut kind of look. We're going to get that club back in there. We're still going to kind of keep the toe down and the heel up, but we're going to make almost a 3/4 golf swing. We're going to get the club up about shoulder height and through to shoulder height, and we're going to let that club bounce onto the surface that we're looking to do. So let's just take a look at it again. A little closer, a little down in the shaft, toes up just a bit. Trying to get that heel to not grab, and we're going to go shoulder to shoulder. And that landed at about 60 yards and rolled about 73.45 based on the bounce. And so if we're trying to get the ball onto the green and around that surface without a lot of trouble, you can see, hopefully in the connection there, that the golf ball struck right there. And as long as you can do that as a high handicapper, you're going to get that ball to go out and roll and run and be much more successful than trying to hit that shot with a sand wedge or your lob wedge, which would be optimal for our next group, the scratch player. Hey, thanks for watching today's episode. Here at My Pro Golfer, you know we like to keep things simple. And today, I've got a special gift for you to help you never miss a 5-foot putt again. Click the link below and download today. All right, you scratch players, here we go. We've selected a lob wedge. We're almost a 70-yard shot. It's going to be almost a full swing for some of you. Okay, we're getting really close to getting really dialed in. And the reason why I like 70 yards and making it almost a full swing is that you're now in a position to create some spin. So as long as you don't have anything impending in front of you, and whereas you could use that 8-iron shot even as a scratch player, if you had to go under some trees or something, there's optimal time to utilize the shot we just taught the high handicappers, so you should work on both. But you're able to be more precise if you can get that brush stroke each time with that same impact position, because you're going to create spin on that golf ball, and so you're going to be able to land it where you want as a scratch player as you get better and better. And you should, as a scratch player from 70 yards, need to get it within 10 to 15 feet would be optimal, because you're trying to get, an opportunity to hit 3 or 4 of these up and down from 70 yards. That's what the tour players do. If they chip out, they're trying to make par if they hit a bad tee shot, or if they're just laying up short on a water hole par 5, this is where you got to be really precise. And so even you high handicappers should practice this after you practice that 8-iron shot to get really dialed in with how to get to a scratch player and improve. So let's just talk about it a little bit. We're going to change it up from that 8-iron shot. We're going to get our club just a little bit further back on our stance. We're going to lean the shaft. And then for me, it's about shoulder to shoulder. My goal is to not get the club face to move a lot. So I'm going to be more body rotation. And if you notice the club face, it's straight up and down. It's not going to twist or turn, because I want to really create some high spin on the shot. So as the club comes through, it stays really square, my body rotates through, and my hips are really solidly at the target. And we're trying to dial in those yardages so that, let's just say for instance, that this shot to that shot is 72. We need to go 78 we want to just let that release a little bit more and just get that speed up. So it's something you want to dial in and practice. So let's get into it. I'm almost in a full shot type feel. I'm still a little closer and my toe is just a little bit down in this shot just to hit it. But let's see if we can pull off 70 yards. Got a nice solid strike. I'd say it landed about 68. We're using golf balls that are not very high spin. They're Pinnacle range balls from Titleist, totally not a problem. Got a little bit of dirt in here, but that's my strike point. Right there, that's high enough up on the face that that's gonna create a lot of spin. And I'll be pretty happy with that shot overall for a scratch player.
Hey, just want to remind you to not forget on getting your free gift below on how to never miss a 5-foot putt.
All right, gang, to recap for today, we're talking about scratch player, and what we mean by a scratch player is loft. So the higher the loft, the more difficult this shot is. The lower the loft, the easier this shot is. So what I want you to do is, if you're a high handicapper, is to train yourself on these movement patterns with that 8, 7, 9 iron, something to that effect. And then after you get good at hitting that shot, your body is moving the same way a scratch player will move, and you just want to add some more loft. So start playing around with a bigger swing that allows the ball to get out there. The biggest key in all of golf is to hit the shot that you can repeat each and every time. And if you're going to be able to repeat this shot, whatever shot you repeat most often to get you closest to the pin is the shot you should play. Remember, we teach a 4-step process about the golf swing. We teach it because every tour player swings just like that, even though a lot of their swing planes, grips, club positions are all slightly different, but they've trained themselves to know which shot they're going to hit at which time and why. And that is what I'm trying to teach you in this awesome series that have helped a ton of you. I've loved the comments. Thank you so much for reaching out. I want you to like, and I want you to subscribe, and I want you to check in with us next Thursday at 6 o'clock because we got a special announcement about where My Pro Golfer is going and what our goals are going to be for the next 5 years to help you go as far as you want to go in golf. We'll see you next week, Thursdays at 6 o'clock.